you shake his hand and say, "Congratulations, you're an idiot"?
I'm not an idiot.
Oh, really? You're so helpless. Everyone has to do everything for you.
Chris was very, very good with me. He knew how to get me to do the things that he wanted me to do, to tell the story that he wanted to tell. And that's what it was all about, is just making sure that Chris was happy. You know, you always want to make a director happy, and, you know, especially when you're a kid, even more so. I'm not sure if there's anyone else in the business who can really get performances out of children the way he can.
He always knew his lines. He was always a professional, always prepared. At the same time, he was a 9-year-old kid. So at any given moment, he would have to become a kid, because you don't have that sense of responsibility that you have as an adult. But, you know, as a kid, you get tired sometimes. You tend to get distracted. You tend to laugh. You tend to have fun. And that was all part of what made his performance so special.
What happened to my room?
Heather, Tracy, and Sandra took it.
This house is so full of people. It makes me sick. When I grow up and get married, I'm living alone.
Yeah, we're almost there.
Everybody was just completely...
Macaulay was fun to work with. I mean, he always joked around. He used to play around with the crew all the time. I think he even liked to do their jobs if he could.
Me and Chris decided that we would use a dollar shot.
Yeah, what should I do here?
Do a dollar shot.
You think so?
Yeah.
I don't know. Do you think, really?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
And what about after this?
I'm not sure.
What about a close-up?
Good idea.
Okay. Should I do that?
Yeah.
Okay.
Someone got the really genius idea of putting a camera in a 9-year-old's hands. But it's interesting to just see my point of view, that I don't even remember. I don't remember any of this stuff. You know, they just kind of put a camera in my hands, and I just shot away.
Hey, can I get you on the other side? There's more light. I can't really see you.
How do you know all this stuff?
Okay, right here, right here. Hi, Chris.
Hi, Mac. How you doing?
I'm doing good.
Take my glasses off for this.
I don't want to give you any ideas, but are we going tighter?
Are we going tighter? Yes.
Is it true that you are in the hit movie Home Alone?
Yes, it is true, Macaulay. And there's one thing that I have to say. They told me that in about 15 years that they will still be showing this movie because the style of it is going to still be in fashion.
Isn't it true that you're the brother of the famous Macaulay Culkin? Yes, it is true. Do you think Home Alone will be a hit movie?
Yes, absolutely. Because you're in it.
Thank you. Moving on.
We just had a great cast, you know, everywhere. Anyone from Macaulay Culkin and Joe Pesci and Dan. They were just a great bunch of people to work with.
We were really lucky. Joe Pesci read it and saw that he could do something with it, and he came on board, and when he came on board, everyone else kind of followed.
Joe Pesci was someone I was a gigantic fan of from Raging Bull and Goodfellas, and I thought, God, it would be great if Joe Pesci would agree to do something like this. He warmed to the script. We got along when we first met, and he decided to do the film, which was shocking to me. I didn't expect him to do it.
He thought that a lot of what we were asking him to do was a stretch for him, which it was. He handled it so well because a lot of it was, you know, kind of in a different playing field than what he was used to. I think his hardest thing was not to cuss on camera.
I'm working with Pesci. He's such a little whiny, annoying guy who I absolutely love. He pushes you, and he wants it to be perfect, and we love being silly together.
Marv! Harry? Why the hell did you take your shoes off? Why the hell you dressed like a chicken?
I had been a huge fan of Daniel Stern ever since I saw Breaking Away, and he was just, I thought, a phenomenal actor. He was always my first choice, although he wasn't originally cast in the film because we couldn't afford him.
They hired another guy, and then I think the other guy, whose name I can't remember, and Pesci rehearsed for like a few days, and then they called me and said, okay.
Ironically, because of a failed screen test, Dan ended up getting the role.
Thank God that other guy didn't do that movie. It would have been so stupid to have passed. When we first started shooting Home Alone, Chris wanted to have a real sense of danger until the explosion at the end when all the gags are set up and then Macaulay pounds us, and then it got more cartoony. So it was kind of being silly and stupid, but trying to keep some malevolence to it and unleash the slapstick at the end.
Hiya, pal. We outsmarted you this time. Get over here.
And they had me hung on the hook, which was a whole kind of little system thing that they'd have put me up there and stuff. And so we're rehearsing, and you know, Joe goes,
First thing I want to do is bite off every one of his fingers, one at a time.
I don't think he did it on purpose. It just, he bit me. And I think he just meant to put his teeth on my finger, but he bit down a little harder than he thought. And I have a little Joe Pesci tooth mark scar right here on my finger. And it's still there. But, you know, I'm actually really proud of it. It's my little Home Alone battle wound.
Although we tried to rough up Macaulay as much as we could, because that was our best shot at him, you know. Stationary target, finally, that kid. I'm gonna kill that kid!
What are you gonna do to him, Harry? I'm gonna burn his head with a blowtorch. And smash his face with an iron.
The iron, the way we shot that actually was interesting, because the way they did that, obviously they shoot up and they have an iron dropping towards the camera. But when they want to film down looking at me, they built a rig where they put the camera on a rope and dropped the camera at me, and the rope was supposed to poing, you know, stop like right there. So, and I'm supposed to be looking at this 300-pound camera dropping at my face. Okay, I hope we know what we're doing. The stepping on the nail was a rubber nail that I could crush, you know, like that, walking across the bulbs. Those were all made of sugar. There's a tarantula crawling up my face, and there was supposed to be a mechanical tarantula. And so we got to the day of shooting, and I said, you know, where's that mechanical tarantula? Because I saw the box with the big hairy one. And they said, yeah,